Not too long ago, I made a video talking about a whole bunch of free agents that I think every NBA team should just steer clear of and not sign. And now I've made 2 individual videos about 2 of the guys in that thing. One was Rudy Gay, who I talked about on the Spurs, and now I'm going to talk about Derrick Rose on the Cavs. So I think I'm the one taking the loss for this overall. I'm also fishing for views, if we can be honest. But Derrick Rose is now a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers, a $2 million contract, I should say, for 1 season. LeBron seemed pretty excited on Twitter. Some people were pretty hyped up about this one on Twitter, which is typically where I get my NBA news from anyway. And so, I just want to talk about this. Can Derrick Rose actually make a difference for the Cleveland Cavaliers? I mean, in the video I had before where I talked about Rose in his present state, his three-point shooting is pretty much non-existent. So when he's off the ball, it's not like he's going to be the most effective player or decently effective. When the ball is actually in his hands, he does not get to the free throw line or attack the defense inside as much as you would want him to. Pretty much relies on mid-range jumpers, which in today's NBA, I don't know if that actually helps you win if a guy's hoisting up like 4 or 5 mid-range jumpers a game. And he's not a very good playmaker. But can all of these things kind of be pushed to the side if he's not the main ball handler and it's LeBron James and maybe someone else? We're going to have to see what happens with the Kyrie Irving trade. I'm still going to side on probably not. I don't know if Derrick Rose is actually going to help the Cavaliers out that much. First and foremost, the problem with the Cavs last season was their defense. They were awesome offensively. They sucked defensively. Derrick Rose doesn't really fix that. The guy's not a good defensive player anymore. Even if he's average on defense, it's not like the Cavaliers needed that sort of a player. So I think right there immediately, the Cavs' biggest flaw is not going to be addressed with this move. But another flaw that the Cavs have had is that they're not good when LeBron James sits. And they've tried lineups with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and LeBron sitting, and they still haven't been good. And I don't know if Derrick Rose is going to make a huge difference there either, because if Kyrie Irving couldn't have these guys winning when LeBron sits, then how's Derrick Rose going to do it? I mean, D. Rose, I would say, is even a worse playmaker than Kyrie Irving. The guy's averaged 4 assists a game for the past few seasons, and he has the ball in his hands a lot of the time. So I am definitely weary of if Derrick Rose is actually going to provide any sort of winning for these guys. One thing I have seen is he can be like a 6th man for them. The thing is, if you're the 6th man of the Cavs, you're still going to play with LeBron, because LeBron plays about 36, 37 minutes a game for them, which is way too damn high, and it would be good for them to lower his minutes this season, even if it means losing more games. I mean, I'm still going to pick them to win the Eastern Conference, although we are going to have to see what happens with this Kyrie Irving trade, if he's actually moved. But if Derrick Rose is on the floor with LeBron, then I don't know what the hell Derrick Rose is supposed to do, because you're not going to put the ball in his hands over LeBron's, and Derrick Rose is not a good shooter, so how is that going to work out? And then Rose cutting to the basket, I mean, at one time, sure. Nowadays, no. So, I mean, there's going to have to be some sort of creative offense drawn up by Ty Lue. And it might have to be so creative for Derrick Rose to the point where it's just like, is this even worth it? But I don't know. Maybe Rose could have the ball in his hands and they could have screens for the guy, and LeBron would be content with playing some sort of an off-ball role for Derrick Rose. I mean, I don't know. I think that's being optimistic, but I assume James is willing to try to figure it out with D. Rose, and that might be the one avenue to make it happen. But then again, like I got back to before, if Derrick Rose is the one with the ball in his hands and LeBron James is chilling on the wing, did you really get any better? Because I don't think so. I think for the spot that the Cavs are putting Derrick Rose in, which is ideally backup point guard, they would be better off having a guy who's just good defensively, can shoot threes, and is a lower usage kind of a guy. Derrick Rose is not that. D. Rose is, I mean, look at, he shot 15 shots last season. I assume that's going to go down, but that's all he knows how to be, is an inefficient guy who shoots the ball a decent amount. So, I mean, unless we live in a world where Derrick Rose's shot attempts are going to go down, his three-point percentage is going to go up, and he's going to get better defensively, which is completely not what he was last season and the past few seasons, I just don't really see how Derrick Rose is going to make the Cavaliers any better. But perhaps LeBron's minutes go down to, like, I don't know, 33, and then there's about a 15 minutes where James is not playing. In those 15 minutes, plus another like 5 or 6 throughout the game, maybe Derrick Rose could keep their offense afloat while LeBron sits, which I guess there's value in that. And given that it's $2 million, it's not the worst thing in the world, and it's only for one season as well. It's whatever. I don't think he's going to make them any better. Sure, he'll have some moments throughout the season that are exciting, but I think a night-to-night standpoint, anyone who's watching the Cavs and paying attention to Derrick Rose, I don't think this is going to make much of an impact. But given that it's a cheap deal, no harm, no foul at this point, I guess, for the Cavs.